All right, let's just jump right in. Think about it. Most traders approach the market exactly like a gambler walks into a casino, right? They're running on a feeling. They're chasing that adrenaline rush, and they're betting it all on just one outcome. But what about the casino? The house? They never seem to break a sweat. So in this explainer, we are going to completely flip that script. We're going to break down how you stop being the gambler and start becoming the house.
So let's talk about the big matchup, gambler versus the house. This is really the root of the problem, right? It's a massive conflict in mindset. On one side, you've got the gambler. On the other, you've got the house. And here's the crazy part. Most people don't even realize they're walking into the market with the exact mentality that casinos are literally built to exploit. So let's dig in and see what that difference actually looks like.
Okay, so on one side, you've got the gambler. This person is strapped into an emotional roller coaster big time. Every single trade feels like a final judgment on their self-worth. A win means I'm a genius, and a loss means I'm a total failure. It's this wild swing between dopamine and despair. But then you look over at the house, and what do you see? They could not care less about one hand of blackjack. Seriously. Their entire focus is on the next 1,000 outcomes, a world of pure probability and, frankly, cold, hard logic. And that really begs the question, doesn't it? How does the house stay so incredibly calm when they lose? Because, let's be real, they lose all the time. People hit jackpots every single day, so how do they just stand there, totally unfazed, while literally losing money? Well, the answer isn't some superhuman emotional strength, it's just math.
And that brings us right here to the casino's secret math. See, behind that calm, cool exterior lies this simple, totally unshakable mathematical principle. This is the secret sauce. It's what guarantees their success over the long haul. And believe me, it is the exact same law that every single professional trader builds their entire career on. Okay, now this is the first and honestly the most difficult truth you have to accept. Ready? The outcome of this specific trade, it's completely random. You just can't predict it. And trying to, well, that's a gambler's game. Your real advantage, your actual professional edge, is never going to be found in a single event.
So you might be thinking, well, if any single trade is random, then where's the profit come from? Great question. It comes from this right here, the law of large numbers. All this really means is that your tiny little statistical edge, it's basically invisible on one trade, or 5 trades, or even 10. It only starts to show up and become reliable when you look at a huge sample size.
Take a look at this. After a small sample size, let's say 20 trades, your results are going to look chaotic, just like this chart, totally random and unpredictable. You'll get a big win that makes you feel like a genius, followed by a brutal losing streak that makes you doubt everything you know. This chaos, this is the gambler's world, and it's exactly why they make such terrible emotional decisions.
But now, watch what happens when we zoom way out. After 1,000 trades, the picture changes completely. All that chaos just disappears. And even with all those individual losses sprinkled in along the way, a clear, predictable, and positive outcome starts to emerge. The randomness gets smoothed out by the sheer volume, and your statistical edge finally gets to do its job. And get this is the real kicker. That edge can be tiny. A casino might only have, say, a 5% edge on a given game. What that means is, out of 1,000 bets, they fully expect to lose 475 of them. Just let that sink in for a second. Nearly half of all their outcomes are losses, and it's just a totally standard part of their business plan. Okay, so the math makes sense, right? But the real question is, how do you actually build this system for yourself? How do you create your own set of house rules that give you that statistical edge?
Well, it all starts right here. A blackjack dealer never ever uses their gut feeling to decide whether to hit on 16. It's not a guess. They follow a strict, non-negotiable manual every single time. Your trading plan, that is your manual. Its entire job is to remove all the guesswork and all the emotion from the equation.
And that manual has to be built on 3 core non-negotiable pillars. Number 1, a fixed setup. This is the exact set of conditions for when you enter a trade. Number 2, a fixed risk. This makes sure you never, ever bet the whole house on just one hand. And third, positive expectation. This is the simple math that basically guarantees you'll come out ahead over time. So let's break these down.
So breaking it down, your fixed setup is basically just your if-then statement. If the market does this one specific thing, then I will enter a trade. Simple. Your fixed risk is your unbreakable rule. For example, Never risk more than, say, 1% of your capital on any single trade. And finally, positive expectancy. This just means you make sure that, on average, your winning trades bring in more money than your losing trades cost you.
And honestly, this is where the magic really happens. With positive expectancy, you can actually be wrong more often than you're right and still be wildly profitable. I mean, think about that. Let's say you only win 40% of your trades. But if your average win is 3 times bigger than your average loss, the law of large numbers makes your long-term success a mathematical inevitability. It just has to happen.
Okay, so this brings us to our final and maybe the most important shift in mindset you need to make. And it's all about focusing on your process, not the payouts. Your execution, not the immediate profit or loss. I mean, have you ever seen a casino manager run out and do a victory dance just because someone lost at the roulette table? Of course not. To them, it's just another data point in 1,000. If you feel that huge dopamine rush from a win or that deep, gut-wrenching depression from a loss, I hate to break it to you, but you are still gambling. It's the clearest sign there is that your focus is in the wrong place.
So what this means is that you have to completely redefine what winning and losing even mean to you. A professional loss, that's when you follow your rules to the letter, but the trade just doesn't work out. That's actually a huge success. But a dangerous win, where you break your rules, get lucky, and make money, that is a catastrophic failure. And why? Because it reinforces the exact bad habits that are guaranteed to blow up your account down the road.
Okay, so here's something you can do right now, an actionable step. For your very next 20 trades, I want you to completely ignore your profit and loss statement. Forget it exists. The only metric for your success is one simple question. Did I follow my rules? Yes or no? That's it. This is how you separate your actions, which you can control, from the random outcomes, which you absolutely cannot.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's be crystal clear about where your real edge in the market actually comes from. It's not some secret indicator, and it's definitely not some magic strategy.
No, your entire edge, it all comes down to this one simple idea. Success in this game isn't about being right, it's about being incredibly disciplined, especially when you're wrong. And that's the whole mental shift right there. You have to stop trying to be a fortune teller with a crystal ball and start acting like an accountant with a calculator. See, gamblers predict. The house, they just execute the math over and over again because they know the law of large numbers will take care of the rest. So I'm going to leave you with this final question. The next time you close out a trade, what's your real measure of success going to be? Is it going to be the profit or the process? The money you made or lost, or the discipline you showed in your execution? The choice, as always, is yours.